What's going on, people? It's Word of Mouth, and we're here to talk about our debut album, Talk of the Town. I go by the name Blessed.
I'm Sin Sync.
Professor L.
And I'm Kiz.
There we go. Let's get into it. Intro music. So we're going to do a little breakdown of each track on this album, and we're going to get started with the first track. The first track is called Welcome, and it's basically what it says on the tin. It's a little introduction to each member of Word of Mouth. And yeah, it's just a little bit of fun, a little bit of showing you guys what we're about. And yeah, it's a good way to kick off our first album, I think.
Track 2 is Saucy. In that one, well, it gets saucy. We got Tommy Brown, you know, the sound coming on it with some straight heat. I mean, he came through with that saucy sound of the South Coast, and we were all just there like, yeah, man! That was awesome. So, yeah, big up Tommy Brown on that one. Absolute vibe. Yeah.
So track 3, Grabbed a Mic, named after one of our many famous events, if I do say so myself. Our next one's 16th of December. Little plug. But yeah, this track's just featuring the four of us. There's no collaborations on this one. This one's kind of just us showing off like our skills as MCs, as artists, and putting that all into one song, you know, full of punchlines, full of wordplay, and also a little beat switch at the end to kind of represent what we do at like our cyphers, where we change the beats up every now and then from hip hop to trap to drill to grime and whatever else. I also produce the beat, so shoes. But yeah, that's it. Track 3, Grab the Mic. Cuts from Jabba. Yeah, cuts from Jabba. Big up Jabba. Great DJ.
So, track 4, Spark, wasn't our first, but one of our first collabs, I'm pretty sure. Spark, so we got Peach Geese on this one. Massive shout out to Peach Geese as always. And so this track was basically, we were vibing in the studio and we found this beat. And, you know, one thing which I'm sure Bless would also decide to talk about is when we're in the studio, we like to try and beat each other, have better bars than each other, have better flows, you know. And so I think that was kind of one of the competitions of this one. But Peach as well, like he has this sick double time in it as well. Peach's verse is fucking incredible, must say. But yeah, so that is track 4 and that is Spark.
So yeah, track 5 is DMX, and we kind of wrote this not long after DMX passed away. And the reason why this track was important for myself personally is he was a massive influence for me to get into the world of hip hop. He was one of the first people I ever kind of listened to and like copped his albums and stuff like that. And songs like Slippin' and Here We Go Again, and even things like Where the Hood At, you know, I listened to that song when I was young, and I was like, I want to make a track like this. I tried, bruv, I failed. do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's obviously it's an ode to him, and you know, showing our respect and our love towards artist DMX. But it's also, you know, a nice nod to, you know, other people that have influenced us, whether it's artists or friends or family that may or may not be around anymore. And so yeah, it's an important track, and yes, it's one of my favourites. Again, Jabba the Cut on the cuts, shout out to him. Sin Sync patterned up that as well. All the cuts from Jabba, Iggy put the play together, so shout out to him. And yeah, it was just nice to get you know, a sample of one of DMX's songs as well to kind of kick that track off, which was really nice as well. So shout out to him. Track 5, DMX. It's a big tune.
So, track 6 is You Don't Know, which is featuring C1 Beats. So that was actually our first collab track of this whole album, the first collab that Word of Mouth have had. So C1, He came down from Manchester. Obviously, before this, he did come down to a couple Battlegrounds, which are battle rap events that Word of Mouth host. And so we made a really good connection with him. And the track You Don't Know is kind of about like bringing almost like a Manchester vibe to a Portsmouth vibe and kind of mixing it up together and just as well like just letting loose on how you feel. And it's quite like, how can I put it? It's quite vibey, but you can feel the emotion in it as well. And so yeah, that's track 6, and that's You Don't Know.
Backup is absolutely rowdy and noisy, and it takes every ceiling off of its foundations. I was like, I feel my inner Skepta, where, wherever that resides. Polish Skepta in the house. I was like, I've heard that gloom gloom before, and I was like, I know exactly where to go with this. I wrote out the hook. I was like, guys, this is it. This is it. I went in, shouted at the mic, like DMX himself. Yeah, and that was that track. We just wanted to get really rowdy, and it turned out absolutely ridiculous. It's my favorite track probably on the whole album. That's Backup.
So track 8, Loser, featuring Tech 35. So we hollered up Tech because Tech is a good friend of ours, I would say. And so this track is a drill track. One of the 2 drill tracks we actually have on the Word of Mouth album. Tech 35 is a phenomenal drill artist. So we decided, you know what, let's go for his comfort zone. But Loser is just basically like about us saying to the scene, like, too many man, like literally in the chorus, Bless is just basically saying about too many man talk about going for a shooter, going for a weapon, but none of them man will pull it out. Do you know what I mean? And they just chat it. And so we were just basically being like, do you know what? Let's be honest. And so we just had our input on drill and just how we felt about the genre, I suppose, as a total, and just putting our point across as new drill artists, I suppose. So yeah, so that's Loser featuring Tech 35.
So track number 9, Warning. Basically, we needed to add some beats that kids actually liked to this album, and we did a few. So like all the tracks on the album is not all the tracks that we recorded. We've recorded a fucking load of tracks, and we had to we wanted to whittle it down even more, but we thought, nah, 20's a good number. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this is the standout kids beat of all those ones that we've done. It was the one that we kind of embraced the most, and it's not that corny. We wanted to showcase our versatility across this whole album. That's why there's drill on there. That's why there's grime. That's why there's boom bap. That's why there's UK rap. And this, it's just a kids genre. Do you know what I mean? So, it's got that kind of Tory Lanez type chorus, and.
Did you just say the word
Tory Lanez.
Tory.
You're a Tory?
No, mate. Look. At the end of, do you want to come to my Christmas party or what?
Tory.
But yeah, so it's just kind of having fun, just bouncing some bars and just being a bit silly because, when people see us do events and stuff like that, obviously we're kind of we're in work mode, we're in professional mode. But when we are actually all in the studio, we're having the fucking time of our lives. Do you know what I mean? We're really enjoying it. We're vibing. I'm kicking Professor L's ass on FIFA. I'm kicking Kiz's ass in Tekken. And I'm kicking Iggy's ass in fucking NHL. Do you know?
I had to play Division Rivals with this guy earlier because he was too scared.
No, I'm not scared, bro. I ain't scared. But yeah, it's a good track. It's fun, and I think it's gonna be a good one to perform as well. So yeah, warning. It's a warning.
So number 10 is a track called Unlock, which is featuring Kid Case and Baby Panna. So both of them two artists, they've got a unique kind of vibey sound, and they work really well on drill. It's kind of like a drill song, I suppose. I'd say it is. Both Baby Panna and Kid Case are artists who have been, performing for word of mouth for a while now, and they've been, heavily influenced. But this song is just kind of like, we all just got on the same vibe. We was in the studio, we found the beat, and we was like, yo, let's make a banger to this. And
Well, we didn't find the beat.
what do you mean? Oh no, yeah, it was a Professor L production. That's why it was even specialer. Right, so yeah, Professor L on productions there, and we just vibed together, and just honestly, we just got in the studio and just had the time of our life and just made a killer track. So that is on lock, number 10. Shout out Baby Panna, shout out Kid Case, and shout out him.
Im. So the next track on the Word of Mouth album, track 11, Curbstomp. Curbstomp to me personally, and these boys probably agree with me, is like the greatest song in the history of songs ever. Like Michael Jackson, do you know what I mean? Good artist, made Thriller, sold a couple. Do you know what I mean? Wasn't that crazy? Do you know what I mean? He could sing. What else could he do? The Beatles were alright. Like Queen made Bohemian Rhapsody. They were quite good. Good song, sold a few, as I said. Eminem's alright, sold a few in his time. Not that much, but could have done better. But yeah, Curbstomp is it blows all that out of the water. It just it makes that look shit. It makes them artists look absolutely awful, because fuck a homophobe gets stomped curb, and that's all there is to say. It is the single-handedly greatest song ever, and we haven't gone platinum yet, and that is blasphemous. That's blasphemous to me. Oh, I don't understand it. The Grammys, I'm coming for you. Nominate Curbstomp, and that's it. I need to stop ranting. Vote here, yeah. Click the link below. But yeah, Curbstomp, banger.
Stepping Stones came about. We recorded to this track originally. I can't remember the original track name or title. We did a bass of the beat. We loved the beat, but we were like, do you know what? Something's lacking. And then I think it was like a couple weeks before we recorded it, we went to the first Open Your Mouth of this year. Yeah, and we saw this geezer Stevie perform. Well, Stevie Mac, full name. Absolute legend. Swing like a king. Seriously. Yeah. And Stevie came through. We were like, we just need you on this. He was like, what do you need me to do? We were like, everything. And he got vocals down. He got a bass down. He got a cheeky little acoustic guitar down, and yeah, I had so much pleasure mixing it down, going through all his takes. He's got such a like unique ear to like going back and forth between like this style and that style, and he does like such a cool twang to his voice. I absolutely love it. And yeah, Stepping Stones came about. He was just mumbling, like, what could the lyrics be? Seven stones. And then he was like, Stepping Stones, and we were like, that is the track title. And yeah, it's about being on the beach, stepping on them stones for real. So yeah, track 12, Stepping Stones. Omar vibe. Originally called Lemonade, based off of the beat. I can't remember the producer's name. Who was the producer? Lethal Needle. Shout out Lethal Needle. His production is really up there. Was a pleasure using most of his beats on the album. It was sick. I was like, so Blessed asked like, "Oh, what vibe are we getting from this?" And I was just there like, "Do you know what? Like nighttime P Town. That's what I was hearing." I wrote about like me skateboarding about and just how much of a vibe it is to go like to Uni Road Tunnel and stuff like that. Um, yeah. But when we came to finalizing the tracks, picking out what we wanted, we were like, Lemonade. That just doesn't cut the cloth for it. So we were like, Omar is Portsmouth nighttime vibes. Quarter vibe indeed, and it was an Omar vibe on that track. So that's track 13, Omar vibes. Shout Omar every day. Big up.
So the next track, track 14, is called Waves, which features Graver, another exceptional artist who we had the pleasure of featuring on the album, also from Portsmouth. He's performed at some of our Grab the Mics before, and we've known him for a good few years now. And as I said, an amazing artist, and it was a pleasure to bring him down to the studio and get him on the album. But yeah, Waves is a track. It's just so soulful. Like the chorus is just about, you know, being with your boys, having a good time. Everyone drops like a really sorry, a really deep, oh my god. Oh, bloody asthma. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Waves, yeah, what was I saying? The verses, like, everyone's just really delves deep into their what they can do as an artist and really puts it on that song. Probably one of my favourite songs on the album as well. The chorus is banging. The beat it leaves me speechless. I ain't got anything to say to it. It's that good. Do you know what I mean? It is amazing. And yeah, I can't wait for that song to be released. I really can't. Track 15 is Touch of Death, which isn't a collaboration track, as you probably know if you've seen the video. And if you haven't, then go bloody watch it. What are you doing with your life? You know? Yeah. Link in description. I hope. But yeah, Touch of Death is well, we picked the beat, didn't we? Well, you picked the beat, didn't you?
Yeah,
you picked the beat. Yeah, was it Lethal Needle? Yeah. Another Lethal Needle beat on the album. Big up Lethal Needle. But yeah, it's like a Wu-Tang type beat. You know, you got all the ninja sound effects, like a Kung Fu Panda type beat. Master Shifu.
Oh, that's what you should have called it.
Master Shifu. Damn it. But yeah, Touch of Death, just witty punchlines, really like clever wordplay, and the video we're dressed as idiotic ninjas, running around in the woods. And a furry, which is obviously SynSync. No one else is dressing as a furry except this guy in the group. Or Jay. I could see Jay as a furry. Yeah. But yeah, Touch of Death. Great song.
Track 16, Battlegrounds, is another track titled after our infamous events in Portsmouth and the South rap music scene. Rocky came in and just really went in on the like atmosphere of what Battlegrounds is like. We hosted it back to the Belgrave. And it's such a tight bar, right? But like, there's so many characters that go to that bar, and with that track and like the funky melody as well as the whole "ain't nobody gonna steal my sunshine," like for real. That's what it's like walking through back to the Belgrave. Yeah, and the whole being on a rap battle stage, I know this particularly. It is stepping onto a landmine, as Rocky says as well. I've never won a battle, and I hope to uphold that. And I'm putting this on video, Jay. Jay, are you recording? I will lose every single battle, and I want to uphold that. But big up Battlegrounds, big up Rocky, track 16, big up Belgrave. Let's go.
Yo, so track 17, Illuminate. We kind of wanted to do something a little bit similar to Curbstomp, but change it up a little bit more. So it turned out to be more of like a 2 bar pass track. Um, and then the person that started off each 8 bar decided the multi scheme. And so it was a bit tricky at first, like putting it together and figuring out how we were gonna do it. But once we kind of worked out the details, it all kind of molded together. And then I just kind of laced some little sounds and some cuts over it just to kind of fill those little gaps. It's going to be a really good track that we can do live. And I think it just shows off, how well we connect on a track, how well we bounce off one another as well. And yeah, it's just a showcase really. We enjoy lyricism, we enjoy writing bars, and writing this one together especially it was just fun, man. And every time we get into the studio, we're supporting one another. We're also trying to outdo each other as well, which is important as well. Keeping those swords sharpened. And so yeah, so really really good track. And yeah, bit of a back-to-back vibe, 2 bar pass, a little bit like what we do in the ciphers. So yeah, it's a good one. So track 18 is Talk of the Town, is the title track of the album, and the reason why it is that is because Word of Mouth as a group is not what it's all about. It's about what Word of Mouth does on a wider scale, which is, providing a platform for artists during our events and the other things that we're looking to do as well. And so Word of Mouth is the talk of the town, but everyone that is part of our events or is associated with us comes under that banner as well. So this one was like an 8 bar pass, and it's featuring like 9 other artists. So we've got LT, Suspect, Peach Geese, Tommy Brown, Diamondback Kid, Coral Reeves, Kid Case, Baby Panna, and Politico. I did everyone, and they all smashed it. And all those people there, they've performed at a Word of Mouth event, or they've also got a track on this album as well. And it just came together so nicely. And have these people in the studio just working on a little 8 bar thing was just fun, man. And yeah, it's a really good track to put together. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Talk of the town, and that's what it's about. And we love what we do. We put a lot of effort into our events and stuff like that, and it is to provide that platform so they can become the talk of the town. And so there's nothing better to see than other people in our city, in our town, succeed. And so shout out to every single person on this track. Track 18, Talk of the Town. Bow.
So track 19 is a song called Gang, which is Word of Mouth's most famous known song. If you've ever seen us perform it, you would have seen everyone in the crowd singing along to the chorus. Before I talk about the content of the song, the funniest moment when recording this, so we was at Bless's home studio, and I was sat downstairs, and Sin Sync, my friend here, was in the studio, and all I kept hearing was just random screams from the room, and random gang! Like that, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought so, and then all of a sudden I hear Lucas start doing the same, good old Professor Al, and I was like, I take it this is the new thing then. And then so Gang, that is one of our kind of like upbeat songs. We normally like to finish with it because it's a good highlight point to end on. We have a music video out for that. Link in description right here, depending on editing skills. But yeah, so we've done a music video which was very like poker style, all dressed up, suited and booted, cigars, whiskey, and just it was just us vibing and explaining how we are as a gang, I suppose, and how we started off together. And obviously that was our first ever track, and well, we're now on the Talk of the Town album, so we're doing something right. And so yeah, check out Gang, track 19.
Track 20, the final track on this Word of Mouth album, Talk of the Town, is called Fucked Up World. And this is probably my favourite, my second favourite song because of Curbstomp. Because of Curbstomp, this is my second favourite one on the album. The beat is incredible. Do you know what I mean? As soon as I heard it, I was like, I'm gonna murder this shit. It's just so, it's proper like Griselda style. You know, when I was listening to it, right, my inner Conway the Machine come out. Nowhere near as good as him, but you know, influenced heavily by Griselda and that. So I based my verse off of that, and the chorus is hard as well. I really can't wait to perform it. And Iggy comes in his verse with some Polish bars and some Polish bars on the chorus. Because big up Poland, kurwa, pierdolony świat, kurwa.
Hey, you did it. Come on.
I've been rehearsing. 16th of December. Catch me dropping some Polish bars. But yeah, track 20, Fucked Up World. Really, really amazing, and I'm proud of everyone sat here and Jay behind the camera for putting, you know, blood, sweat and tears into this whole thing. So it's a massive fucking relief for it to be finished.
Me, bro.
I mixed more than you.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, I spent like half an hour on the
Yeah.
track.
I produced more beats than you.
Give me that fucking thing. Alright, word of mouth is cancelled, bruv. Shut up, kids, you'd never get a gig again. So the album came about basically, we did a little studio session with C1, which we talked about, and because we wanted to work with people within music. It wasn't the idea of becoming a group or anything, but we just wanted to make a track because we all do music. Let's make a track. And then last year we had so much planned, like without gassing shit up, like we were about to take our shit to a different level, do you know what I mean? And when COVID hit, it was such a fucking kick in the nuts, do you know what I mean? Like we had nothing. And so I personally just wanted to keep busy, and when I want to keep busy, I make music. And so I was like to these guys, let's just get in the studio, let's make some tracks. And we made so many tracks. Too many tracks. And we whittled it down, and we even tried to get less than 20, but we couldn't. They're all bangers. And yeah, so it just kind of came about with like a way to kill some time, to keep busy, and also try our hand at something a little bit different from the normal word of mouth stuff, which is obviously doing events and things like that. So yeah, it was mostly down to COVID, but it was also down to, you know, our passion of being in the studio, doing music, collaboration projects as well, and you know, just working with people. Like we don't just, you know, say, oh, here's a gig, come along, do your thing, see you later, and we'll never talk. We made some really good friends because of this stuff, and you know, people that I hold, you know, very dearly in my heart. So working with them on this album has been amazing. Working with these guys has been amazing, and yeah, that's kind of how the album came about.
So I think the biggest challenge we faced whilst doing this whole album was just, I think one of them, even though we are normally really, really good and top level at communication, but it's just trying to find that kind of, because obviously from where we're a group as well, we like to do stuff together. So we wouldn't just have a studio session where it'll be just blessed, or it'll be just blessed in like sync, you know. We like to do stuff as a group. So it's just, I think the hardest part was maybe trying to find the availability we can all match, where, you know, we can work together in a decent environment, which, don't get me wrong, that was probably the hardest thing, and we still fucking smashed that. But yeah, I would say that might have been the hardest thing. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else has got anything to add on to that.
The hardest part for me was actually being an MC. That's for me personally, right? Because I'm like you know, not gonna lie, I got my other roots like in music and stuff. But you guys have proper driven me to like do my bars and things, and like that my ability for that like skyrocketed. So challenge was writing like proper bars for the first time rather than focusing on the whole concept of a song. It was cool to like tell stories, which is like what like spitting bars like embodies, especially on the Talk of the Town album. So yeah, that was a challenge, but it was a brilliant challenge for me.
And it's not really a challenge, but I just wanted to kind of add to Sin Sync's thing there. Like I've said it to you a couple of times, but there's not a Sin Sync has not missed
doesn't
on any of these verses. Do you know what I mean? Like every single verse that you've done, mate, has blown me away. And yeah, it is different to the stuff that you normally do, but I've seen you take what you've done on this album and implement it in your solo music that you've been making recently, and it crosses over, man. And yeah, you haven't missed on this album at all. I don't think anyone's missed on it at all, but like like every single verse that you've done, there's like either a quotable or there's something that makes me screw faced, you know what I mean? Or there's just, even if it's just like a little ad lib that you've done, I've gone, go on, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been hard. As far as challenges goes, I'd probably agree with Kiz. Like getting everyone together at the same time has been the tough one. I think if none of us had jobs or other responsibilities, we would have done it in a week. Do you know what I mean? Rather than a year. That's the thing. Like we were on such a run during COVID because we didn't have like any responsibilities because we were either furloughed or working from home or something like that. So you can kind of blag your time a little bit more. As soon as we came out of lockdown, we all had to go back to our normal jobs or going to uni or whatever and things like that. And then obviously starting events again. So that's what kind of put a little bit of a delay on finishing off the album, but now it's done. It's great, innit?
Still smashed it regardless.
Still smashed it regardless, man. And yeah, maybe not 20 songs next time.
No, just add one last point. Just going back to Bless's point about Sin Sync, one thing I just really wanted to state right now, my favourite lyric probably of the whole album. Did I forget to mention I just took out my pension? Best lyric from Sin Sync on this whole album.
I'm fishing for the fishes.
Coming very far like a 20-metre facial.
That's my favourite part.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Jay's favourite bar. My favourite bar is probably oh god, what's my favourite bar?
If you don't say one of mine, we're over.
You know what? I think my favourite thing on the album is probably when it's Big Yay. Going, I'm wearing the nice coffee shoes. Purchase your ganj today. Yeah, that's the favourite bar. Yeah, it did, bruv. It's at the end of Talk of the Town. Someone ain't listened to the album yet, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Who's this guy? Try. Yeah, he's trying not to leak it to all the people that care. All the people that care. What's your favourite bar, Sin Sync?
My favourite bar is fully in my Nike sliders, watching Peaky Blinders. Because that is just so painfully whack. Yeah, you can visualize it. It's whack, but that's what it puts it as my best. Wait. Whack in a cool way. Whack in a cool way. Yeah. Whack means cool now. Get with it. Talk of the Town. Come on.
If we're saying whack is our favourite bars, it's got to be Sin Sync saying she gives me boob hugs. Like I said, you don't miss on these albums, yeah, but you don't miss because they're all fucking questionable as shit. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely sus. You going again, or do we go to the next question?
I was going to go my actual proper. So, my favourite bar of the whole album, it was probably Rockefeller Skank during Talk of the Town, where he had a bar where he was on about being at your house with a bigger scram because now your mum's his biggest fan. Like, yeah, like that was just hard. But the second one as well, which I've always loved, off of the best song ever to be ever made, it was definitely my favourite lyric, "Crush your head like ocean pressure when they open treasure." I loved that bar. I love that bar. So that one goes to him. So one of my favourite moments is when we had two young lads come up. I'm pretty sure it was Only One Only Son and Jack Too Drippy. And even like for their first ciphers, like as like 16-year-old lads, to come up on stage, to stand in front of a new crowd where no one knows you, it can be the most terrifying thing. And the amount of support they got from the crowd, the amount that how well they done as well, the way they presented themselves on stage, it's really good to see the young talent coming up, and the fact that, you know, from us doing what we do, we are helping them new people build them new talents and to take them next steps. Do you know what I mean? That was my favourite moment.
My favourite moment is like something that has happened more than once and happens every Grab the Mic, but it's seeing like loads of mad talented rappers jump on the cypher at the start and at the end of every Grab the Mic, and as the DJ spinning the beats at the back, I'm in awe of everyone jumping on there and supporting each other, do you know what I mean, and passing the mic around. Like, I'm a fan of that, like old school hip hop, do you know what I mean, and it's just a way of them showing how good they are and busting their skills on the stage, and it's just amazing to watch, and it's really good to see. I feel proud, like I'm proud of us lot to be able to give these people a platform to really showcase who they are and come up and kill it. So yeah, mine's the cypher at every Grab the Mic.
It's quite hard for me to pick my favourite moments out of all the events and stuff like that. I think one of the things I really enjoy is the fact that, like, at the Edge or the Wedgwood Rooms, the staff there just really get into it as well, and like they want to work those events, and they follow the page, and they comment and they share the stuff, and that's really cool. And we've got a really good relationship with everyone there now. So, you know, goes without saying, shout out to the Wedgwood Rooms and everyone there, the security, sound, you know, bar staff, the managers, everyone. Like, without you guys, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. I'm gonna say a couple others just because I can. There's a lad with some quite severe additional needs, some social anxieties and stuff like that, and he really wanted to perform. Couldn't really handle a full set or anything like that. It was just a one-track deal, and everyone that was in the crowd at that particular event were quite, you know, I'd say to a regular person, a bit intimidating. You know, hoods up, you know, big geezers sort of thing. And a lot of people would cross to the other side of the road type thing. And these people recognised immediately that this person had some, you know, difficulties. And instead of like laughing or talking over him or taking a piss, basically, they showed support and love and respect, and they hyped him up and they gave him positive feedback, and I think they even bought his album and stuff like that. And then after the event as well, like, they invited him back to the shisha bar, and he just absolutely loved it, do you know what I mean? And that inclusivity, and that our events are open to absolutely everyone and anyone, and no matter if you've been doing it for 10 years or 10 minutes, like, people will listen to you. You know, you show respect, you'll get respect back, and that one was really cool. Yeah, I think those are my things really. I just love everything, man. One more is just when people say, oh, I'm definitely coming back to this. I can't believe I didn't know that this was happening, why didn't I hear about this until now? And then they are literally there every month, coming through, showing support, you know, buying merch, buying other people's albums, sharing it, you know, or posting statuses after it saying that they've had a great night and all that sort of stuff. That just makes it all worthwhile. So inclusivity, the wedge, and our supporters, man. Sorry for taking it long.
Nah, man. I think it's good you took that long, because like, I had to get Jay to pause the recording because I was like, I need to think about like what my favorite moment is. The moment Jay asked that, I was like, they just started rushing through. Like, at first I said, I loved it. One Battlegrounds. Mac Sherry, who came down from, was it London? Yeah, he came down from London. And he won it, and he was really up against it. Like we had a lot of good battle rappers at Battlegrounds that evening. It was quite an intense night. And then he was just at the end of that set, he was just on that stage, like, you know, feeling like he won it, like saying that he won it. And I think that as Bless was talking about seeing someone on stage, that made me think maybe like my highlight is like overall every time an artist comes through to a Grab the Mic or a Battlegrounds and they get on stage and they run the stage, they're like, this is my stage, and then they smash it, they enjoy themselves, they're taking their shirts off. It's just such a brilliant feeling, for real. And it's great to see an artist get. You see it so often where there's an artist on stage and he's having the worst time of his life. But Grab the Mic and Battlegrounds, that ain't it. Everyone is having fun, like especially the artists on the stage, and it's beautiful. It's why it's called Talk of the Town, you know. It's the stage that like gets talked about. Everything gets shelled.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you want to get involved with us, you know, just give us a message. Of course, shout out to every single person that's already got involved. You know, all the venues, all the performers, every single person that we've crossed paths with. You know, big up to you, and we can't wait to continue working with you in the future. And other than that, we hope you enjoy Talk of the Town, 16th of December, the first word of mouth album. And we hope to see you at the launch night at the Edge of the Wedge, 16th of December. Get your tickets now, and we'll see you there. Peace.
Come on!
Bye, Jay!
Yeah, special set from Big Ye coming as well. Trust me.